It's time!
Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Welcome back to another hot fire. I won't say hot fuego, but that would have been like a quadruple negative as those two things combine and they turn into 16 chapel. I'm just sounding like Kyrie right now. What's up, y'all? Thanks again. Stopping by episode 98 of the Audible podcast. I'm your host, the Woody man. Y'all know who I am, Dusty Woods. The man with the plan without his hand. Cause we are drug free around here. I wish I still had my death shirt. What's up, y'all? We got a high fire episode. We're gonna talk about some baseball. We're gonna talk about some food. We're gonna talk about some. I'm gonna say Whoppers, even though Whoppers go in with food category. Since Whoppers, we probably just get straight into this. We're gonna talk a little fast food domination. We've discussed it in the past before. We're gonna talk the best burgers, right? So, fast food is terrible for you, but we're gonna talk it because we in America and everybody fat anyway, so it don't even matter. Let's get into it. So, y'all know that I've been getting into a lot of baseball, right? By a lot of baseball, I mean for like the last 3 weeks I've watched a couple games. Very exciting. I'm into it. I'm ready to roll, ready to go. I like the playoffs. I've been watching the playoffs, watch Boston and the Red Sox. I want to start first off. I want to start this off. I know baseball, right? My first jump into baseball was in I guess it was 1993. It actually made me want to play baseball. I wish I'd have stuck by that pretty much more than anything because I've just incredible, um, inhuman, almost mutant style tracking ability. So that's why I was so good at baseball. I can see through anything and see anything from anywhere. I can pick mosquito wings off. I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Um, Missed out. Told my Achilles in '83. So baseball has just been fantastic. Um, I treat it I treat it like an RPG, right? There's so many variables and there's so many stats, analytics. There's so many different things that factor everything. The stadiums, they're pitching stadiums. If you go and play in Denver, the elevation and the way the stadium built helps hitters. So everybody who go there and when they play Colorado, the run total is always sky high because in that elevation and in that stadium, it's built pretty much to just fucking knock out home runs. That's just how I go. When other places, let's say in I believe the San Francisco Giants, pardon me, they have more of a pitcher stadium. So you've got some good pitchers. I haven't learned in full what pitcher stadium encompasses, but I assume it's a longer field, maybe. Maybe some higher walls, maybe some density, maybe some walls where a lot of wind can't get in there and really push the ball a certain way. If you put a big wall at the back, um, maybe outgoing wind wouldn't help batters. You know what I mean? I'm not sure how it's built, uh, but I've heard that it's a pitcher stadium. I heard some attributes about why it's a pitcher stadium, but it could be a lot more things that I just don't understand and get accomplished yet. Because nigga, it's been like a month of this stuff, but I'm very into it. Um, I'm mad got into it at the end of the damn season. I wish I'd have jumped in game one. It is 136 games. I just so happened to jump in like the last 25, like the last 25. So I wish I got a little bit better feel of regular season play and habits and trends of pitchers. And because you can get a lot of pitchers that can be in slumps, great pitchers, like for instance, you saw Gary Cole, and you saw with Max Scherzer, these kind of really good pitchers, they can get in these slumps where they just getting their ass lit up. It's just that's just how it is. They're just getting lit up. So you just got a lot of factors. Like I said, I always think about it like RPG because you got certain type of pitchers, you got fastball pitchers, you got pitchers that can mix it up. You got left-handed batters, right-handed batters. It's just so many different variables. Like I said, with the stadiums, of course, it, it's a lot going on. One thing I will say is it's definitely a secondary thing. It is not a basketball, football. My eyes need to be glued to the TV tube type of sport for me. Um, it could be more like golf, whereas I think I would compare it to golf, where there's so many. The actual sport is very long and drawn out, like the actual game, just like golf is, right? These dudes hit a line drive for 400 feet, 300 feet, however it go, and then that's just what couple seconds. Like think about it. The swing from the ball hitting, getting hit to dropping. Let's say it's 10 seconds, rolling, whatever. We spend more time doing the other thing as far as watching them walk into the next thing, watching them prepare to set up the putt or to set up the next hit, to find the right 9 iron or whatever. I know a little bit about golf, not that much, but that's what it is about baseball. Everybody always has their ritual. The pitcher got to get ready in their little type of way. They got to wind up. They got to thing. They got to communicate with the catcher. The catcher got to get ready. You got to get in position. The batter got to get all stretched out, and they got to do their little ritual, do what they do, spit a couple times, however these cats do. The umpire, they got to do what they do too, and it's just a lot of action, a lot of potential action in the burst. It's action in bursts. That's why I think it's a secondary sport for me. Um, Sometimes I'll be like doing other shit. Like I can play baseball and play the game perfectly. That's why if I'm playing a game, uh, like I play on a monitor, so I don't have to, the TV and the monitor are two fucking different things. I can do two different things. When you're playing on a when you're watching football, right? Like I can watch Red Zone. Red Zone for me because it's constant action. I don't have to. I could just listen to it and it keep going. But a regular football game, it's just so many things. You got to run play. You got to fumble. You got to you miss a fumble. You miss an intercept. You miss so many live things. There's so many live things that can go on in football. You miss a touchdown. Like I don't even want to see a highlight of a touchdown. If I'm watching the game live and I missed it, I'm pissed. So and basketball is like that too. It's a lot of back and forth, real quick. And you got to keep paying attention to everything that's going on. And then golf, like baseball, it's so much. It's so how I really explain it. It's so dramatic because everything is just bent upon a guy at bat and a pitcher on a mound. Like it's 3 minutes of everything else, and then when we get there, we got a couple seconds of this hard hitting, hard beating action, and then it's a ball one. All right, everybody back up. Spit, spit, jiggle around, do something, look around, stretch, walk back to the plate, catch, go back up, maybe some talking, communication, give her some signs. Ball two. All right, back up, do all the same thing. All right, okay, strike one. Okay, all right, back up, do all this. Everybody, all four people, umpire included. Dude say, "Oh, foul ball! Oh, another foul!" Like it's so many dramatic. It's like wrestling. It's like false finishes in wrestling. If y'all know what a false finish is, false finish, and when they say one, two, oh, they're like when they kick out, it's just so much action pent in. It's exactly how golf is. So much action pent in to a couple seconds that we don't realize. It's really like it's probably like 30 minutes of action in total in baseball. The other 2.5 hours is commercials and rituals and just standing at the mound, somebody on the plate, discussion time. Is a replay here. We got a fight. That's 20 minutes. Like it, it's a lot of action, but it's just it's an explosion of action instead of just long, drawn out action. So football, its bursts can be anything. It can be a long play. It can be a lot of different things. Um, a run, a pass. Baseball is just those at bats. So I think that's why I like Jermaine sport. I like baseball. I like the drama of baseball. But it is not a secondary sport. I can see why uh motherfuckers listen to it on the radio. In the radio? Oh man, if you got the right broadcaster, because he's telling you, but well, he backs up off the plate. Da, 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 da. He's explaining everything you're gonna see anyway, because watching it actually is boring. Like I don't want to sit and everybody back up. Some dudes playing with his crotch. He got to spit tobacco out. Are these dudes chewing tobacco? Are they chewing gum? What are they chewing? Why do they have to chew? Is this a teeth gritting type of sport when or it's just like a nervous energy type of sport to where you need to chew, you need to spit, you need to do things to take off of the drama of hitting the ball. I'm very confused. I'm gonna need y'all baseball people to holler at me about this, because like I said, I wish I'd have got into it way early in the goddamn year. Um, that way I could really see. It's like start watching basketball. Fucking 10 games. You got a lot of teams that shutting down already. As soon as I'm getting into it, you got teams shutting down, pitchers shutting down, pitchers coming in and great pitchers. They get 2 innings, 3 innings because they got the more important playoffs coming in. So I'm only mad I got into it at the wrong point. Very disappointing for me. So I like baseball. It's not as I think it's a greater secondary sport. Like I said, if you at the ball, if you at like a family event with friends, maybe if y'all at a barbecue, uh, and talking and engaging is the number one thing that you're doing. I think it will add even more drama and makes baseball even better to those moments that you're actually paying attention to it, because those are the actual only exciting moments in baseball. Now I get why I didn't like the shit at all, because it's really fucking boring. But just for those couple seconds, uh, it could be as good as anything else. Like I said, listen to the fucking radio. We'll be talking more baseball, playoff style, and all this type of good stuff. But if y'all don't want me to talk about it, I don't want to talk about it. It's not that dramatic. I'm just getting into it. I'm a little excited about just getting to it. Like I said, baseball is like a thing I should have did. I should be playing baseball right now. It's just I don't know. Like I said, I have this excellent Magneto type track and Wolverine type tracking ability in my retina. So yes, fantastic. Let's move on. Game Pass. I want to talk about this with y'all. It's a lot going on, man. It's just a lot going on. So first of all, let's get into some business. Let's get into some real business. Stop what you're doing. Go to crossthestreammedia.com. Check out all of our podcasts. You got 16,000. It's not 16,000 podcasts. We got Three Bears and a Mic. We got the Movie Gap. Excuse me. My favorite ones right now has been the Dan Ariel podcast, and Dogsman. But Three Bears and a Mic just came out. It did the oh my god, what was the last episode? One was I don't want to go to the website. I remember it was Incredible Hulk. Did Incredible Hulk episode. Uh, One before that was about consoles. It's just so many episodes. I'll be listening to everything. I'm telling you, podcasting. It's just not podcasting, but listening to podcasts. I think it's just been an excellent time filler, right? Because audiobooks, I don't know what it is about books, like reading books. I'm an excellent reader. I'm not like a. Well, if I get a book, I have a lot of books that I've read, but it takes me a little bit to get to the books because I always 100% I am going to fall asleep reading a book. 100%. I've never not read a book, pages, several pages in my casual time, on somebody else's time, at school, at work, at my mama house, at anybody else mama house. If I'm about 3, 4 pages deep, it's Jigglypuff time. Your boy is out. I don't know what it is. So, audio books and podcasts have been great for me. So check out crossthestreamsmedia.com. We got a lot of podcasts for everybody. If you got my crazy ass on here, you know it's a lot of podcasts for everybody. But let's get back into it. What the hell would I want to discuss last? I didn't know. Game Pass, right? So I've been whining, bitching, and moaning. What? Whining, bitching, and moaning about gaming this entire year, nonstop, no breaks. And it definitely won't stop today. I still have a lot of complaints, but I want to give a shout out to Xbox Game Pass because Xbox Game Pass have been dropping some of the just some amazing, fantastic, quick RPGs. Nice little 20 hours, little 40 hour, little 30-hour RPGs. Take a couple weeks to get through. If you're a real one, it'll take you a week to get through. But games like Hades, I'm trying to pull up my list of games right now. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's 600 games on Xbox. So uh my cousin is a madman when it comes to goddamn games. It's 600 on this motherfucker. So it takes me a little bit to catch up. Let me get myself together. So Hades, first of all, Hades was fantastic. I didn't think I would like Hades because I'm not a hardcore RPG player. Like when people play Dark Souls, when people play Diablo on hardcore mode, if you don't know what hardcore mode is when you die, you lose all your shit. Like the new Diablo 2, which just dropped. I got that. We're gonna talk about that too. Uh when you die, you gotta go pick up your shit. All your shit is gone. It's on the ground. If you're in the game with other people, unfortunately, they can pick your shit up. I made a mistake, picked up somebody gold. I dropped it because I'm a good person. Uh, but yeah, this thing dropped like 10,000 gold, and I picked up all of it. I thought we killed it. We killed the boss. I thought we did it. Not a thief. No cat burglar. Y'all know I don't like cat burglars. But Game Pass, um, has been putting out fantastic games. I'm did not like the Ascent, but it's a good game. It's just not my style of game. It's like it's kind of like Diablo, but to me the movement is not how I like to move. It's just I'm sorry, it's just that's how I am. Dark Alliance, another good game. If you're into RPGs, is another fantastic game. This game is not free on Game Pass. It's not free. It's $15 a month. But Tales of Arise um somehow we heard this. My cousin heard this. He told me about it. He's like, dog, it's a 10 out of 10 game. Check it out. It's 10 out of 10. I already bought it. Download it. Check it out. It's a 10 out of 10 game. I'm sure y'all have seen me post videos on it on my Twitter. It whatnot. It's a 10 out of 10 game. If you are familiar with the combat, let's say, because a lot of RPGs like that, and it's so crazy. I'm not even a fan of this type of combat. Like I said, I'm a very simple RPG player. So I like turn based. The reason I don't like the newer Final Fantasy VII, the remaster, which is crazy because I like this is the same style, is because it's not turn based combat. Right? I'm so used to turn based combat because, like I said, I be doing shit. So sometimes like if I'm playing the game, right? I mean, I just got home. I mean, I'm probably cooking. I can't cook playing this game like effectively. I'm gonna have to press start and just go sit down somewhere. That's cool too. But like mid combat, if my food starts sizzling mid combat, I'm gonna have to play this game out because I'm gonna let the food. But keep it real, I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna let the down the game. I'm not gonna down the game. I'm gonna let this bitch burn down before I down the game. That's a fact. But um, so this is not the combat I typically go for. The combat is amazing. The combos are crazy. Um, they penalize you for spamming combos, so you can't just keep pressing X, pressing Y just because it's the fastest. I mean, it's the fastest, hardest hitting move that you have. You can't just keep sweeping people into the air. Just because it's a move that sweeps people into the air, they actually have to have a break or something on their name for you to be able to get to these certain points. Um, you can strategize the team because it's four y'all on the field at the same time, fight whatever you fight. So you can strategize them to heal. You can strategize them to fight more effectively, more aggressively, more moderately. Don't heal. You can either customize the set and say, "Hey, when you at this much mana, I want you to heal. But when you're at this much, I don't want you to heal. Oh, if you're at this much, I just want you to do magic. But when you're at this much, I just want you to do healing. Or if I'm at this much health, that's what I want you to heal me. Don't heal me. Don't waste the magic. Don't waste the mana. Try to heal me when I'm 80%. Wait till I'm 30%. You can set like that too. So you can do a lot of customizable things. Um, and you could probably just do this in other games, but like I said, I'm a real simple RPG player. I'm a I'm somewhere in between casual and diehard gamer. Like I can play a game, a RPG for a criminally long time. Skyrim, criminally long time. I buy it every time. Fallout for all the Fallouts, criminally long. But there's certain styles I just can't get into. Um, what is those? Neo, Sekiro. Like I said, those type of games, those Dark Souls games. It's just a game to me. Like for real, it's 100% a game to me. And I'm not. I take the my challenge of gaming comes more from competitive gaming than playing hard games. Like I see why people play hard games. People do speed runs, um, anything like that. I get it. I see. I watch it. I know how Dark Souls look. I know how it plays. What's the other one? Made by the Dark Souls people. They dropped on PlayStation. I forgot what the name of that is. I watched these games. I've seen these games. I think those games are really good games, amazing games. Um, just not really my style. Because this controller will go through the wall. Yes, sir, it will. The controller, yes, sir. I am a controller slamming motherfucker. You ever been playing spades and you cutting clubs and all you got is 8 spades left? That's how hard the controller um, is slamming into the table or the floor, whichever one I still may choose. So props to Game Pass, props to Xbox for keeping it alive. Granted, these are not the games that we were promised at this point. It is October of 2021. PlayStation 5s came out last year. Last year? 2020. Yeah, 20. Xbox came out last year. We still don't have the big games. Repeat, we still don't have the big games. Cyberpunk was a flop. I don't care what the sales say. The actual game was a flop because the sales or whatever it is, because people are dick riders anyways. Because that's the same reason Call of Duty is gonna have a lot of big numbers. It's the same reason 2K and Madden has a lot of big numbers because people don't know what to play and they don't want to play new things. So they just play the same thing that they hate and maybe only play for a couple months at a time. Like people legit buy Call of Duty and You know, whenever it come out in, I guess, October, November, and they off that bitch in February, March. Like, it's done. So Tales of Horizon won't be like that. Hades won't be like that. And the good thing about him, Hades is like 9 gigs. Won't take up a lot of your space. But it will take a lot of your time. It's a good solid game. And like I said, when you die, you start over. You don't start all the way over. You do keep some passives. Um, but there's a lot of passes that you have to gain back up just from going back through and naturally progressing through the game and doing different things and taking different avenues, etc. There really good games that I've been playing. There's another RPG I found out about, but I haven't really played it that much. And I don't even remember the name. Uh, Diablo 2 was something else that dropped recently. And okay, right. So I like Diablo 2. I would rate Diablo 2 so far. I haven't played that much of it. I'm like level 25. So I'm not even close to the actual Diablo experience. 25. The actual close Diablo experience would be like playing 25 fucking hours, 25 days played is the real Diablo experience. So I haven't gone through anything close to anything. So I'll put that out there first. But when this originally dropped, and as a matter of fact, I've never checked that, and I just knew there was a remaster because my first Diablo was Diablo 3, right? Diablo 3 was dropped on I forget what year it dropped. Is it 3? No, 4. No, Diablo 4 dropped in 19. No, wait. Immortal, Resurrected, 3. Did 3 drop in 12? No, 3 Reaper of Souls, right? So that's my first Diablo. Whatever 3 was, god damn it. Whatever dropped. So 2012 is my first Diablo. So the first one, the second one, I've never played those. The second was my first time playing. And I love the third one so much that I knew this was a day one purchase. And it was. I bought the $60 one. I didn't even buy the fucking $30 one. I bought the $60 one. I want to make sure I get all my Diablo worth for this shit. If I played this, I'm sure you say, hey, you want to check to see when it came out. This came out in 2000 at first. I would have put my foot from the sole probably to mid hamstring slash quad. Let's see, right here, knee, femur right here. Probably, let's say, from the knee, not the middle of the quad, a little bit up. Let's say about 35% past the knee up to the. All of that would have been directly through the computer and the computer monitor. If I had to play this motherfucking game in the year 2000, I would have threw this shit in the fucking street. There's no way, no possible way a sane person created this game. It is dark. And I have a very good monitor. I have a very good TV. The game is dark as fuck. They give you no direction on where the fuck you going. This is why games are easier. Games like this is why it goes from games like this to one button combos. Games like this is why we got one button combos because it's stupid for no reason. There's no direction. You barely know where you're going. There are no arrows on this bitch. When they say report to whatever area, the area might be 3 or 4 areas in advance. How the fuck am I supposed to know when I'm gonna get there? So I'm supposed to skip past 2 or 3 areas to get to one area and then triple back? What? The there's no way. There's no way I would have played this. um 2000, I was in junior high school. This no, oh my lord, boy, I would have broke this shit. Today, as a more understanding man, as a more mature man, a person in general, as fucking junior high, so I'm a man, a person in general, I can sit here and play this game, and I can vent my frustration with the game because I know they meant it to be that way because it was the year 2000. And I remember the games that's coming out in the year 2000, especially computer games. It wasn't a lot of these motherfuckers because computer games really starting to like take that next little plateau up. They're already amazing games, classic games. I didn't play a lot of them, but I know of them now. I didn't play a lot of them back then because nigga, that was our first computer. We had one, and that bitch was just okay. And this is dial-up internet days too, so you already know what it was. Um, so I think Diablo 2 is a good game. I'm going to play it to its maximum level and ability, like I do all Diablos, but I'm not gonna like it because it is dark as fuck. You this is a fightable problem. That's how dark and that's how bad the directional and the directional um I don't know. That's just the mapping and everything. It's just bad. It's just really bad. It's really bad. I really dislike that part. Uh Other than that, game has been pretty good. Like I said, we're not getting the games we wanted. But we are getting good to decent games in the meantime. Last night I played the Battlefield 2042 demo. So I played it for like 2 hours. Right? I'm gonna play it again today. I played it for like 2 hours. It has a real. I'm hearing like somebody's playing like fucking Chinese music. Dun, 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 dun. Like when you go in a Chinese market and you hear it, dun, 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 banging that shit. I don't know who produced that. Battlefield, it feels the gunplay, it feels like Battlefield, right? But the shooting feels like, damn, how do I explain a Battlefield? It feels like a little bit of a merger and mix between 3 and 4, just as far as the gunplay and movement. The movement is more like 4, and the actual gun looks more like 3, and more like the what's those bad bloods. I didn't play those battlefields. My first battlefield was Battlefield 3. Um, but 24, not 2042, the Vietnam, all those type of battlefields, it plays like those battlefields. I played those battlefields after. It's slightly arcadey, but the game looks very good. The map we were playing, they had a fucking tornado on the map. It goes around. You can actually get caught up in this tornado. So I'm glad they've added uh some level, some part of evolution back to it, some excitement back to the maps. Because like I said, in 2014 when Battlefield 4 came out, they announced all this really to me the best not gra- the best graphics and the best showcase of graphics I've ever seen in a shooting game. If if you've never seen an initial trailer, I'm sure there's a 4K trailer up. Back then it wasn't 4K, 14, I don't think it was. But I'm sure if you find a 4K trailer of the Battlefield 4, a 4K a picture of the Battlefield 4 trailer, a 4K video of the skyscraper dropping and the two dams being blown up and one being blown up and actually flooding the map. Like the map, you can go on the ground level, but and there's tall buildings around this thing like fucking I don't know Beirut. I don't know what it is. You can fight on the roof, but you can fight on the ground as well. You know what I mean? When you first start out, when it's a conquest game, A, B, C, D, and I think it's just 4. No, it might be E too. Um, you could take different routes. You could take your vehicle you call that. You could take a plane there to get to these different places. But when you flood the dam, okay, some dock boats. All of a sudden, you could take a little safety boat that was hanging around that was docked. You know what I mean? The entire map changes, and now you can only fight on the roofs. You can still swim if you want to. You want to take a long ass swim from your base to their base to try to take a point. From your base to the point, you can do that. But the quality of gameplay and the thought that went into that, and even the other damn map, when you blow it up, big giant chunks of rock blow up from the dam and like land on the street. It was all dramatic stuff. It was a map with an entire antenna blows up and collapses. Like these are breathtaking things that was in initial Battlefield 4, and they took it completely out. Hardline had none of that. Hardline wasn't even close to that. I understand it was made by a different team, but you just gave us something completely different. What was the next Battlefield after that? Battlefield 1 was nothing like that. The dynamics of the game, the levolution, the best thing about Battlefield 1 was operations. Getting a fucking 4-hour match. Jesus Christ, we was in a match one time. I got that bitch at like 10. The match was over at 2. I said, Jesus Christ. So it's Battlefield 1 after that. I believe they did Battlefield. It was another one after that. And then they did Battlefield 5. So, and in Battlefield 5, there's barely any explosions. You couldn't even blow up a fucking building. I can't even blow up a building. I can't blow up a wall. So they just add bits and pieces to that. I did get some C4 and throw it around random buildings because that's what I do to blow some shit up. Because in Battlefield 5, the only thing you kind of blow up was those little small houses. With two ways to get in, and it's just a room base, not even a fucking house, just a room with stairs. No place for a living room or nothing. I don't know who the fuck was living there. It looked like firehouses, but I did have a lot of fun playing it. Um, I don't have any like outright complaints. I'm trying to think of anything that I saw that was just really egregious. They really need to bring back the spotting system. I'm not sure why they thought that the spotting system in Battlefield 3 and 4 was bad. Maybe they thought it was too easy for us to be identified, but it's 64 on 64. What the fuck do you want everybody to do? Like everybody can't be invisible. So again, this is another Battlefield, the fifth in a row where spotting is completely messed up. It's definitely not the same button. It definitely doesn't work the same way. And now you have to be a specific class uh, to spot people via a drone or something else, I believe. But the traditional spotting is still not back, and I'm not sure why you would take that mechanism out when it's 64 on 64, man. Like these games be like 3 hours, nigga. I want to see what some people are sometimes. I'm not trying to play 3 hour games. Like getting 100 kills or 80 kills is fun. Getting a lot of points is fun. Playing one game and leveling up 8 times or 2 times or however many fucking times you can do it is fun. I would rather not play 3 hours. I thought the helicopter was fine. I thought the tanks was fine. I thought the tanks were a little they were easy to deal with, a lot easier to deal with. Even though they're still devastating. Of course, they're fucking tanks, but they're a lot easier to deal with. I'm sure they will adjust the EMP that the drones can do. The sniper class, the recon class can bring out bring out a drone. And I didn't really get to explore. I'm not sure that drone can be a halfway UAV as well. Maybe it can be. Um, Under it, it was like a circle that's a connection. Maybe if you put that drone over a building, they can spot people under the building. I didn't really get that piece. Um, but you can EMP helicopters and tanks, right? So you just hold the trigger, the left trigger in, and you shoot the EMP. Well, it has to charge for a while. Well, charge for a little bit, not a while, probably like 4 or 5 seconds, and then it locks in, and you hit it with the trigger, and it'll it'll temporarily shut them down for like 6 seconds. They can move, they just can't shoot. If it's a helicopter, they'll be somewhat uncontrollable in the air. You can't shoot or anything, but you can kind of control yourself. But if you're in a bad spot, if you're in between trees, into a building, you'll probably run into that shit. But if you're in an open place, it won't. It's not on there long enough to where if you high in the sky, it EMPs you and you could just instantly drop into the ground. Your shit does recover, but it did look spammable. Um, which I guess is another quality control issue because I didn't see many people. We never see this many people trying to take out helicopters and things. People just usually trying to fight a anti-defense turret and sit on it for the entire 3 hour duration with 4 kills and 72 points and just shoot at planes all day. Um, but I don't think that's the way to go. I usually do carry around a rocket launcher with me because to me, just like in Call of Duty, I always just ran a gun and a rocket launcher because to me it's free points. And really, in the new Call of Duties, people do it now because you could just put a turnout for it, a SAM turnout, and just destroy them, kill streaks instantly without you actually having to go out there with the rocket launcher, have cold blooded on, have a class that has cold blooded on and do that. Nobody ever did that. Um, but now everybody just has a kill streak to do it. So, excuse me, get some water. So getting that all together is real fun. Like I said, I only played about 2 hours, so my experience is not all the way there, but it was definitely good enough to where I knew I'll play again. For a fact, I'll play again. Um, so geez, yeah, I'm sitting there giving shit praise today. Oh my god, I'm praising gaming, even though again these are not the right. We keep it real. These are not the correct games. We're supposed to have big name games right now, not 20 fucking 21. That's why I haven't seen one gaming promotion, seminar, whatever, these festivals, events. I haven't seen one of them yet. I don't care. I don't care about fucking February and April of 2022 when systems came out in like I guess September, October of 2020. I don't care about games a year and a half later. Also, Xbox. How does Xbox sell us a much better system for $100 less? I'm not complaining, but I am. Can anybody figure that out? Has anybody figured that out? How Xbox seemed to figure out this Xbox Series S, which is the white one, and it is dramatically better than the Xbox One. And I think it's 100 or maybe Xbox One would they 399 when they first dropped, or 299. I think they could have been 399. These things are at least $100 cheaper um than Xbox One, and I think it's a fantastic console. So if you can find anything, go get the Xbox. The PS5 is still very hard. My search for PS5 is done. The PS5 is gonna have to find me, and to be honest, there's not a lot of things I want to play on PlayStation right now besides Genshin Impact. That's the only reason I'm looking to get a PS5. But I might just now that we can transfer accounts to PC, I might just put it on PC and just say fuck the PlayStation in general. Two reasons why I want to say fuck the PlayStation in general. Three reasons. One reason I already got the Xbox and it's a lot cheaper and a lot easier to get, and it's on par with the PlayStation 5, right? Bam. Number two, Tinfoil Hat Theory tells me that PlayStation and Sony has something to do with these consoles. I know about the chip stuff, cards, graphic cards. I know, not buying it. Number three, Sony has been the side that has been holding up cross-play games multiplayer games of a lot of different varieties. There are a lot of people who want to play a lot of games with their friends on other consoles, and Sony makes it extremely difficult. They're the one that's been holding this back for us to get crossplay after all this time anyway. Overwatch was out 4 years. Crossplay didn't come out till the game was already dead from the Sony side. So, um, like I said, at this point, the PlayStation is going to have to find me. I'm not too interested in anything that's coming out over there, and it's probably looking like the PS Pro is going to be my first and only PlayStation because I don't really like how they're moving. And after the Nike shit, I'm big tinfoil hat. I'm gonna keep it real. Ever since the Nike thing, there's no way that these consoles. I don't give. If you knew how much I didn't care about the chip shit, like I know what's going on. I don't like it. I accept it, which is why I'm moving on because I got the Xbox, which is just $300. The best console you've ever had, anybody's ever had, is like $200 cheaper, $100 cheaper than the previous consoles we bought the last 3 times. How did Bill Gates and family figure it out? We will find out soon. So, big shout out to everybody that's been gaming hard. I know a lot of y'all been back into Destiny. I know Insurgency just dropped. If y'all into another first person shooter, I know there's been a lot of free games that's been dropping. Free games has been pretty much our savior. Like I said, Genshin Impact is the best game that I've played this year. I've played a lot of good games. Actually, it's probably the best game I've played in the last 10 years. Yes, it is. It is the best game I've played in the last 10 years. I would say Genshin Impact would be in my top 5 games of all time. Um, that's how good it's been, and it is completely free. Um, Anybody who's ever played Genshin Impact would absolutely know why it's so addictive, why it's so good, why the combat is so good, so clean, it's so smooth. Um, the elementals, the mix-ups, putting in the mix-up with characters, the 5 stars, the 4 stars, the different weapons, the different combinations. Everything doesn't have to be the same way. You can have traditional setups, so you can mix up whatever you want. There's just a lot of different things you can do. I think the co-op is very, very, very underrated. I can admit that I haven't experienced the co-op in Genshin Impact as much as I like to. It's because of on the PlayStation. Um, there are much the loading times in comparison between a PS Pro and a regular computer, like the processing times, it's not even close. Like there is no loading screen. Like if I just buy what are those I guess the computers that's the monitor is all hooked up into those, let me get a slightly upgraded one of those and it will play Genshin Impact with no problem at all. um but when you play it on the PS Pro, I don't have really, really any lag issues as far as gameplay, but the load times are ridiculous. And I've seen load times on PS5 and PC, and it's instant. Whereas me on my PS Pro, what's the game dropped on? So what the fucking shit came out on? There's dramatic load time. Sometimes 7, 8, 12 seconds. Niggas is looking at me like I crashed. Like I'm at the blue screen because of my load time. So that's the only complaint I have about Genshin Impact. Everything else has been fantastic. I wanted to talk to y'all. Who that was alone? Giving praise is just so. Should I do this more? No, that'll never happen again. I want to talk a little wrestling because I like talking to y'all about wrestling. As I said before, it's my favorite sport. We talked about Dark Side of the Ring. Why I say it's favorite sport? It's not a sport. It's what does I classify wrestling as a male soap opera. It is our I'm trying to think of an equivalent because it is the essence of wrestling, the simple part of wrestling. It's storylines that are played out through the wrestling, right? Somebody gets mad, somebody gets jumped. They figure it out through wrestling. Title one alliance competition. It's mostly it's supposed to be about competitiveness, and everybody's story or timeline, or most people's story is a timeline to potentially get into the belt, whatever respective belt that they want to get to. And there are supposed to be storylines in place for those particular characters, depending on what part of the card they're going to be in. First match, middle match. And if you're the first match, that don't really mean anything. You be the first match because you be the best. You could be one of the best wrestlers to make a hot match. You want to start the show off hot, so you just put some two good guys in, two good girls in. And you just let them do their thing, right? What I don't get about wrestling these days, right? Because before, let's say 98, 7, 6, 6. They didn't have all these writers, right? So like WWE, for instance, brings in they have entire writing teams, they have blogging teams, they have not blogging teams, they have writing teams. Like they get writers from all over, different places, different styles. And to me, these are obviously not good writers, right? So this has been Rock and Stone Cold probably went out in like '03, right? Cena had the helms up until them pretty much the entire time until like I guess 14, 15. Actually after that too, until he left recently. Uh but when you're a top guy like Cena, you really don't have to deal with any of the writing stuff. What I don't get about wrestling is that we've had, and I know, people that say if y'all over 25, right? When I was a kid, let's say in the 90s, there were good TV shows, right? And I can say this as a kid, and I could be out of my place because maybe there were good shows on HBO and Showtime. We couldn't afford those shows, so I never heard of a lot of. Um, there's always been great TV shows, and there's always been great movies. But I think we can agree, probably in the last 10, maybe 15, maybe 20 years. Let's go to the start of 2000. There probably have been more iconic television shows created than movies. I could be wrong about that. I can think of a lot of classic movies. I can think about Training Day. I can think about Man on Fire. This is the first person pop up in my head quick. The Departed. Departed's my favorite movie of all time. So I can definitely think of extremely good movies. But the television shows, mostly through HBO, Showtime, different places like that. Netflix is giving us a lot. If it wasn't for extremely nasty man Spacey, we could have still get House of Cards. House of Cards season one. I'm going back and watch it because I just don't feel comfortable watching nasty man do anything. I can't even watch my favorite movies. Fucking Kaiser Soze. I can't even watch none of this because of extra nasty man Spacey. But there've been The Sopranos, The Wire, Breaking Bad, just The Shield, even free shows. Not Breaking Bad. What's the zombie shows on A&E? Oh my God, Walking Dead. Uh, the first, let's say 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons, maybe 3, 4. This is iconic television. This is shit we've never seen before. We've seen plenty of zombie movies. We've seen plenty of zombie TV shows. We've seen plenty of everything zombie. We've never actually seen it put that way. Breaking Bad, we've never actually seen things put these ways. Like Sopranos, we've seen a ton of gangster movies for years, 40 years. We never seen a TV show really put this way. So we've been really lucky TV wise. Think dog, think of Netflix, everything that's been dropping. We get so much that it just go over our head. But when we go back, you're like, damn, that was a good show. Damn, that was a good show. Damn, that's a good show. I would like to know where is WWE getting the writers from? Because we see stupid, goofy shit that's not it's just not even good television. Water guns and burning people alive and swamp fights and um money in the bank, fighting your way up the tall building. Um this is this has nothing to do with like the simulation of combat, which is what it's supposed to be, right? And if you look at things like the UFC, right? The UFC promotes one thing, and that is fights. And the great thing about the UFC and MMA in general, and boxing doesn't get this because boxing pushed themselves a different way a long time ago, is that it doesn't matter who actually wins or loses. Like that's the thing how wrestling used to be. Nigga, The Rock probably lost like 1,000 matches if you think about it. You know what I mean? You know how many times I see The Rock get pedigree. If y'all remember the hilarious little meme clip or whatever, when he's like, "Shut up, bitch," to Triple H. I'm gonna show y'all the clip on YouTube. He got pedigreed damn near through the ring right after that. Triple H gave this nigga one of the hardest pedigrees I've ever seen, ever. After the one of the funniest little segments with the whole moment was hilarious. I put it up on Twitter. But the whole segment was hilarious because Triple H was calling out. He was calling out somebody else. He wasn't even talking to The Rock. He was calling out somebody else. And The Rock came to the ring with a microphone. He wasn't even calling out Triple H. He was calling out Brock Lesnar. He was walking over to Brock Lesnar, and he felt like he wanted to come out and talk shit to Brock Lesnar and tell him come in the ring and fight. While Triple H was fighting in the ring. So right before that, the setup to "Shut Up, Bitch," well, Triple H like, because The Rock, dog, I'm telling you, it's the funniest thing ever. Rock just came out talking like Triple H in the ring. Come out, I forgot who he's talking about. He was talking to, but he was talking out there forever. That's what I hate about Triple H. Triple H used to talk for like 10 minutes. Dog, we do not want to see you for 10, 12 minutes. 7 minutes be a long time, but he's calling somebody else out. And the trash man so loud, it sound like a damn truck just flipped over. He's called somebody else out. And The Rock just walks out, calls out Brock Lesnar. He's like, "Who do you think you are?" And then he's like, "Shut up, bitch." But I think, I think since so much of the goofy comedy, the funny shit got over back in the day with The Rock, with writers. Yeah, one writer in particular, but they threw ideas off each other. I think that Vince McMahon in particular thinks that everybody can get over with those same stupid, quirky lines that has never worked for anybody else. But what he doesn't realize is, does realize it, but he's forcing it because he forced everything. Is that only The Rock can say some shit like that? Only The Rock's finisher can just be elbow drop, nigga. He's just walking up to you and hit you with an elbow drop, and it's a 1, 2, 3. Only The Rock can have a famous eyebrow. Only The Rock is. Nigga said know your role and shut your mouth. SmackDown Hotel. You can't. Everybody can't do that. So I don't even know who they're actually writing for because they can't be writing for kids because there's a lot of sexual innuendo, over the top sexual innuendo, even to this day. And this is the PG era. This is the shitty era. There's a lot of innuendo, and that's just cringy and weird. Shouldn't be in wrestling. There are moments in that because it's a champions warrior sport. So it's an age old type of stereotypical tale. You get the belt, you get the woman. So there's some of that, but not leading edge was fucking on stage, in the ring. They put a bed in the ring. They put a king size in the ring. Nice blanket, still look comfortable. It was fucking. So I'm not sure where the WWE get their writers from, but they have been awful for a very very long time, and they have pushed me away from most of wrestling. Um, but I think everybody can agree with me when I'm saying, like, the amount of high quality television shows that we get. We like I'm trying to think of good TV shows back in the day. Like, I mean, I guess y'all niggas watch Wings. I guess y'all watch that shit. I don't know. I didn't watch that shit. Like, ER. I guess y'all Grey's Anatomy. I guess House. I guess y'all watch stuff like that. I can't really do the hospital trauma stuff. Um, but I just think we've had a lot more iconic TV shows than movies. So I'm not really sure how WWE could be getting these writers to write dumb shit if we have actual good writing being done by a lot of regular, quote unquote regular people. Like, what's this? The chick, Issa Rae. She's writing shows after shows, and they're catchy to a certain audience. Not me, but there's an audience that is very hip to it. Very catchy. They're catchy on everything that she writes. In the same way that's similar, but at least it's similar with WWE, but at least that writing actually emulates or simulates something that actually happens in the real world. That's what things are supposed to be about. It's a simulated combat. Um, yeah. So we're gonna actually you know what? We're gonna talk about Dark Side of the Ring. That's what I want to talk about. So the last Dark Side of the Ring was about FMW. Jeez. I was about to say we're gonna move on to little food, little burgerino talk. So if y'all I'm pretty sure y'all have heard of Dark Side of the Ring. The last episode of Dark Side of the Ring was a Plane Ride from Hell. I believe I talked about that a little bit in the last episode. Plane Ride from Hell was horrific, because you have grown men that were drunk. Put it like this: they ran through 6 liquor carts before the flight even left. Let me repeat that: the wrestlers on the plane, they had a private uh, charter flight, but it was a big plane because there's a lot of them. And they went through 6 liquor carts before they even took off. That's how it starts. You can only imagine how it goes after that. So the most recent episode was about Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling, FMW Wrestling. It was a blowy, uppy professional wrestling organization in Japan, where their expertise was exploding ring matches and very, very violent um Japanese type of brawls, just very violent Japanese wrestlers, right? A lot of brawls, a lot of barbed wire, a lot of chairs, exploding rings, light bulbs, crazy shit. And it was ran by a cat named Atsushi. I know his last name was Onita. I forget his first name. I think it's Atsushi right there. So he was always a wrestler. His first couple gimmicks, I believe, just didn't get over that much. And he started jumping into this, and he found his own promotion. It was actually one of the first successful promotions of this style, this death match type of wrestling. We had ECW here, but ECW didn't have exploding rings. They had a couple barbed wire matches, but not exploding barbed wire exploding ring matches. Like it wasn't that crazy. Motherfuckers getting hit on the top of the head extremely hard. But it's different between cut up and sliced up and getting set on fire and a lot of different things like that. One of the most famous stories is that after a match where Onita just won. It was just a very popular match. People were screaming, crying, and everything else. Very violent match in Japan. In Japan, it's so crazy because if you watch MMA or boxing or anything competitive in Japan, they're extremely, extremely respectful. I know wrestling can be a little different in moments, but they're extremely respectful. It's usually really quiet. When there are good moves, when people pull off good shit, you hear a unified clap. They really just show appreciation to what's going on. I'm not really sure how you can look at a nigga blow up. Literally, use small explosives and blow themselves up in the ring with barbed wire cutting themselves up. So one of the most famous stories after one of these matches, Onita rushes out of the arena and he's running on a bridge. He's running outside. He's celebrating with the championship. People are there. They're running with him. And he jumps off a bridge into a lake. And everybody's looking down at him and fucking excited. Oh, yeah. It's just a crazy moment. He jumps into the fucking lake with his belt. Everybody's celebrating with him. But it just so happens that this is not any lake. It is filled with sewage. So, with a body full of deep gashes and small cuts, bumps and bruises, he jumped into essentially sewage. Not essentially, it's sewage. Almost died. Obviously, when the densest amount of shit and fecal matter and anything disgusting is all mixed into one in there. It's not just just a piece of shit touching your hand. This was soaked into his bloodstream through open gashes and cuts, so he almost died. Took him a long time to recover, but he did recover. He came back. Pretty much poisoning his entire body. Extensive blood work and blood transfers and all this good shit. So it just goes to show how crazy it was for him. And he was actually so popular, he actually became a fucking politician. Yes, they are as crazy as us. They make wrestlers politicians, just like we made a wrestler a governor and an actor. A governor and an actor, a governor, and 2 actors, presidents. But yeah, seeing people all over. Thank y'all for stopping by and listening. This episode, I think it was 98. I said 98 at the beginning, I believe. Holla.
It sound white boy. Make sound short. Make sound short.
It sound right, boy.
Cross the streams media.
This has been a Cross the Streams Media Podcast.